right. Hello, hello everyone. Welcome. We are going to be creating another layout using this fabulous Novemberman collection from Craft O'Clock. We can get started on our layout. We're going to do a speedy layout today. I have this sketch from Ginger's Corner Facebook group. We are working with speedy scrapbooking sketches this month. So the idea is that Ginger and her friend Mallory put out a 23 or 26, I can't remember which, sketches for us to work with, and then the intention is to keep it simple and make some pretty fast layouts. I'm not a super fast scrapbooker, but anything I can get done in under an hour I feel like was quick. Oh, Manya picked one up today. You picked up some Disney stuff? Yay! I love that idea. Okay, so we are going to start by cutting off the branding strip. For my background, I grabbed one of these cool wood grains from Echo Park. They are open stock in the store. The back side is just a white cardstock, so you can use that side too if you want. It's just a little bit off-white. Kind of almost a gray color, but very pretty. So it's nice to have some usable backgrounds in open stock in the store. So this is one of them. Tuck this in over here a little bit. And I'm going to be scrapbooking another roadside attraction. So if you followed along with my, I want to say March, but I think it was June series of 30 days of sketches, I worked on a bunch of photos for my roadside attractions album that I had printed and never worked with. So these ones are off my phone, so they're ones that I hadn't printed yet, but I still want to add to my roadside attractions album. Oh, that won't work. There we go. So I'm just cutting 2 black cardstock photo mats for my 4x6 photos. The photos in here are 1 landscape and 1 portrait, which is perfect for the photos that I took of this particular attraction. And it was this giant dime. Check that out. How fun is that? So this is found in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia, and the dime isn't, I guess it's not the attraction for everyone else, but I was pretty excited about it. It's actually the blue nose. You can go on the ship, you can look through the ship, you can wander through and look at all the things, and it even has, you can sail on this ship too. We didn't do that, but apparently you still can. You just have to book it. So it's actually a replica of the blue nose that is on the actual dime, Canadian dime. Okay, so here we go. We are going to mat our photos on black cardstock. What time are we starting our layout at? 6:10. Okay, so that'll give me an idea of how quickly we put the layout together. Because the idea is to be speedy, but like I said, I'm not super speedy at scrapbooking. I fuss a lot with choosing things, but usually when I have a sketch and I have my photos printed, I can get it done in under an hour, but we shall see. We'll make no promises here, right? There we go. Okay. So those are the photos we're going to be working with. Now in the sketch we have the 3 banner pieces for patterned paper. So I am going to open up my pack of patterned paper. Now as you can see, this one probably would work with a 6x6 paper. This one's going to be too long and this one's going to be too long. So I'm going to show you how I can still use my 6x6 papers even though it looks like those are longer than 6 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to scooch my scraps off to the side. And I'm going to pick 3 papers that I want for my, so again, the low waste packaging, right? So the back side of the cover sheet is a patterned paper. So that's always awesome. Let's see what goes with these. Got a plaid. I kind of like this one. It has a compass on it. Let's try and see if we can get that one on there. What's on the back of that? Don't like that one as much. These are so thick that I keep checking to see if I have more than one. Yeah, that's a contender for sure. Okay, I like this one because I think this is what I'm going to use for my stripe. Wood grain on wood grain. Do I still love that? It's going to be a mystery. I kind of do. I could also use this one. We'll see. I already grabbed that one. This is a maybe. What's on the back? Maybe. That would go with that one. I kind of like this one too, but if I'm going to do stripes, I don't need these. What's on the other side? No. I don't want the white on white. My background is white, so no. And there's another one of those, and another one of those. Okay. So I think I'm okay with wood grain on wood grain because we have a boat dock and a boat. I feel like that's already talking wood grain on wood grain. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. But I could also use this strip. Okay, I might use that one. Maybe I won't use the wood grain on wood grain. The more I talk about it, the more I feel like that's not going to work for me. So I do like this one though, so I think I'm going to go with this one. Is there more than one of these? Yes. Okay. There we go. So here's what we're going to do. The first one I'm going to cut is going to be this one, and I want to keep the compass in it because that's why I chose it. So I'm going to make them all simply 3 inches wide. I think that's going to make it easier for me and faster. So they're all going to be 3 inches. This one. Don't think I'm going to need the second one of this, or will I? I might. Okay, so for now I'm going to leave it like that. We'll see. And then this one I think I am going to use 2 of because I'm going to want, well, it doesn't matter which way I do it. I want my stripes to go horizontally. And I want this to be my extra long piece. So the reason I want stripes is because if I layer up my stripes, it's less obvious that there's a seam here than if I layer up, say, this paper, right? The grunge makes it a little bit harder to see, but you can definitely see the seam on that as opposed to the seam on this one, which it just kind of fades into the lines that are already there. Okay, that's why I'm picking that. So this makes it more obvious as well. If you look at how different those two are, you can definitely see the seam on that one. So that's why I'm choosing the stripes. And I think I'm gonna just cut the dark part off of these stripes here, and that's how I'm gonna know how long my banner is gonna be. Okay, so my first one is going to be this one with the compass, and I am just gonna grab my scissors and I'm going to do a little notch at the bottom. Maybe I'll do it for all of them at the same time because I'm just making sure my script is going the right way. Then it will be all to the same distance up. And then that's how I'm just going to know where my banner line is going to. That did not go as planned. I feel like... Error. My old eyes fail me sometimes, you guys. Okay, so here is going to be my first banner. And then this one will be my second banner. I think I'm going to cut the letters off because they go the wrong way and that's going to bother me later. Even though it shouldn't. That's how I roll. It just does. Okay. And then this one. There we go. So that's going to be my second banner piece. Now this one I'm going to do a little bit differently. I think what I'm going to do is trim my banner down here. And then I'm just going to see how far down my photo is. To about here. This is my high-tech measuring system, my fingernail. And I'm just going to cut this here. Because it's going to tuck in behind the photo. And nobody's going to be the wiser, right? Okay. So that's kind of the idea there. Uh-oh. I don't know. Looks like it's going okay so far. I don't know. Facebook's telling me something about my frames are too slow, or I don't know. Anyway, we're just gonna keep rolling along. Hopefully they won't kick me out again. Ay, ay, ay. These guys, I tell you, I feel like they change something on me every single week. Oh, I know what else I wanted to tell you guys. So in the month of August, I will be still doing some create along live stream videos for you. Why is that so crooked? Goodness sakes. I will be not available on August 12th, so I'm going to do one on the Wednesday instead, the 13th. Yeah, Facebook. Yeah, I know, right? And then I will not be available on the last Tuesday of August. I won't be available that whole week, so I will not be here that week. I will be back in September for more fun, I think. My grandkids are moving in with me, which is super wonderful and exciting. I just don't know what that's gonna look like yet, so we're going to take it one day at a time. Stay tuned. I might be back in September. I might not. I don't know. Depends how long they have to be here for. But yeah, whatever works, right? But for sure not that last week of August, because it's just me and the kids here, so I am not that talented anymore. I know that there's some moms on YouTube that like film videos while their kids are running around behind them. That's not going to be me. I don't know. Maybe because they're my grandchildren, but I can't wrap my head around that, so they get my undivided attention when they're here. So I probably am taking September off, but we shall see. They are looking at getting possession of this new home in central Alberta in on September 3rd. So I mean, maybe Like, it depends on how that goes, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how we roll. But yeah, if they're still here in September, no, probably not. Because I can't wrap my head around. I'm like, no, I don't know how people do that, and especially not as a grandma. So I know my friend Ginger does it. She lives with her little grandbaby, and she's filming videos all the time, and I'm like, wow, girl, you have some skills. I do not. And you can hear the little baby in the background cooing, and I'm like, nope. I would not be paying attention. It's just me. Kind of crazy like that. I think I want mine this way. Hers are overlapped the other way, but because of the image. Okay. So I want this down a little bit. I want this down a little bit. And I'm talking about the dime, like I know it's covering up part of the boat, but I'm really talking about the dime in this particular layout. So I'll have other layouts in my book about the Blue Nose, because we did the tour and stuff. So we didn't go sailing on it, but we did we went on board. I was shocked by those boys that were on the ship that some of them live on there all summer long. Like the kids who run I say kids, but they were like in their 20s, who run the tour, like the sailing part of the tour. I was like, wow, really? You guys are on here all summer long? You live on the boat? And you should see the living quarters. I don't know if you've ever lived on a boat, but it's not big. Unless you own a yacht, and the Blue Nose is no yacht. So, pretty fascinating. Okay, so all I did was put my T-square down. I lined that up. Okay, so yes, it's a 6x6 paper. It's not in a 6-inch length, but because my photo is going over top of it, that's okay, right? Who's gonna know? Just you and me. It's top secret, don't tell anybody. Okay. So I'm just going to maybe line this up next. And, oh no, because I wanted this one down first. That's right. Okay. That's why. Like, why was I doing that? That's why. Because I wanted this one first. Okay. So just gonna put this, just using the line on the paper at this point to line that up. And then this one will go on top. Do I want dimensional tape? Do I want foam tape for that? Maybe. I might. I got a new roll of foam tape at the store the other day. Very exciting. Crafty foam tape. $33.75 for this scrapbook adhesives one. I've bought both of them, and I've used both of them, and I've tried both of them. And I have to say that this one turned out to be my favorite. I do always say, like, suggest that people try the different kinds of adhesives until you find the one that you like the best. And so I've been trying different rolls of foam tape, and this scrapbook adhesives by 3L one is my favorite. It's got a low profile, so for scrapbooks, when your scrapbooks start getting bulky, you start to think about how thick is my foam tape. This one is very thin, but it does give that little dimension and shadow that I'm looking for, so that's why I like this one better. Also, I don't know, but oops, look what I did. No. Also, I felt like this one lasted me forever. I don't know if the other one is actually less yards or whatever, but I felt like this one went on for a very long time before I ran out. There we go. Yeah, so my first thing to decide was, did I like, you know, the dot dimensionals, the square dimensionals, the, you know, there's all kinds of different things. And I really do like my foam tape. Have some other things that I like to use. In a pinch, you can always use your leftover chipboard. So if you have a chipboard sheet that you've used all of, maybe it's an alpha, maybe it's a chipboard images from another company, Simple Stories I think has them, Echo Park has them. You can use the leftover like this part, the empty dimensional, so you can use that to pop things up too. If you're out of dimensionals, there's an idea for you. Okay, now this says chunky title. I don't know about chunky, but I picked this alpha. It's from a Vicky Booten Christmas collection. But the reason I picked it was because I still have lots of E's, and I wanted to put Prime Dime up here as my title. So, I don't know how, maybe I'll put it on here first because I don't know spacing wise what I'm gonna do. I feel like that one's too long. I could use a smaller one. There we go. And then we have LMNOP. And why don't we use a exclamation point? I always forget about my punctuation parts of these kinds of things, so I'm trying to make a conscious effort to add those when I can. Okay. So it will fit on top of my photo, so I'm just going to line it up with my photo. So when I'm finished adding everything, and sometimes after I turn off the camera, if you guys see that I've posted my photo and it looks a little bit different than what we did on the camera, that's because sometimes after I take the photo of my picture, I decide I need to change some things. So, oh, this one's going to be next word. Leave a space. Sometimes I look at the photo and I think, oh, I don't like that there. I need to move it, or I need to add something over here. Like I think last week I added to my title. I felt like it was leaving a weird like trapped space kind of area. So I kind of moved it and added to it and just made it look better. So if you see that, that's why. It's because I've taken the photo and been like, oh, I don't like that actually. So that's a tip too. If you ever think that maybe something's not quite right with your layout, check by taking a photo of it and then looking at the photo to see if you can see why you're unhappy with it. Now I can see that already on the camera. It doesn't look like you can really see my title, but in real life, that dimension of the thicker makes it really simple to see against the darker paper. Okay. Another thing I might do is after I turn the camera off, I might go around it in white pen if after I take the photo I still can't see my title. Okay. Now, all I have left to do is to add my journaling and my embellishments, and I need a date on here. I was hoping that this would fit. I very quickly and randomly printed off my journaling, so I'm impressed with myself that it actually fits in this banner, because that's where I was hoping it would go, and then I was like, if not, I'll tuck it somewhere else. But no, it actually does fit there, and I kind of like that. And what the heck? Didn't this happen to me last week? What have I been doing? I don't feel like I've crafted enough to run out of tape. There we go. Maybe I switched rollers. Okay. Guys, no good. There we go. We got our journaling on there, and I preset my date stamp so we can put my date somewhere. But first, maybe I will add my embellishments. So that's where this really fun collection comes in, right? And the reason that I chose these photos with this collection was because we had sailboats. I can't see them now, but they're here. Oh, maybe they're under here. Okay, yeah. Like, oh my gosh, where are they? Hiding under the enamel dots. Okay, so we have all these cute little sailboats. So I'm thinking like one sailboat per cluster area. So we have a cluster area down here where the dime is. We have another one up beside here. So that's where the three are in the photo. I like that. Let's see if I have all my best. I don't want a fish. Doesn't go with my plan here. And maybe this one. No, that's more like a yacht. Don't want that. We were just talking about how it was no yacht. And this one's black and white, so it blends too quickly into my background. I don't need a basket. Black and white again. So it's between these ones. And I think these two are the same boat and these two are the same boat. Is that okay with me? Probably. Or do I want to add a different boat? No, I'm okay with it. I like this better. Okay, so the other thing I could do is to layer up the boats. And remember, with these November Man ones, if you cut it out, you get the boat so that if I don't want it driving off my page, I can flip it, right? So now I have my boat facing into the page. Same with this one. If I don't want it driving off the page, I can just turn it and put it the way I want it, right? So I love that about these, especially when the things are directional. Sometimes it doesn't matter, like my basket. Does that matter? Probably not, but I like this. Okay, so let's see about what else do I want on there? I could also put ticket somewhere because, you know, it was a thing to see for sure. And could do a camera. What other ones could I put on here? Ooh, is there a number 10? Because we're talking about a dime. I wonder if there's a 10 in here. 8, 9, 6. There's probably just a 1 and a 0. Oh, there's a 16, so don't give up hope yet. 35, 54, 0, 9. Maybe not. And these again were on the back of the numbers were on the back of the cover sheet for the embellishment pack. Could put a 1 and a 0. That's an option also, right? Okay, I think that's what we'll do. Get some embellishments on here. Anything else? We got birthday, we got vehicles, we got suits. I didn't see anybody in a suit. Workout equipment. Betcha it's a big workout to pull in those sails. Look like a lot of work. All right. So let's see what we can make happen down here. So I think I like the idea of the 10 down here and this here. So I'm gonna ink those up and glue them down, and then we should be just about finished here. Yeah, right? You don't really think about the different directions of things, but when you lay something down and it's going the wrong direction, it's like, oh, can't use that one. It's looking off my page. That's weird. Or, you know? So I really like that you can change the direction. Joe says, I didn't think I'd use the 2 directions of those cut aparts, but I definitely do. So, yeah. Exactly. I wasn't 100% sold on it either, but then when I saw how convenient it was. It would be more convenient too with like if this was one that had like animals or people. It does have people, but I haven't used them. Just didn't go with my current photos. But I think I'm gonna pop up my boats. So I think I'm gonna put my other embellishments flat and pop up my boats. Okay, and then this one. So I think I'll do the popped up one first and then tuck the camera in behind because it's kind of a smaller element. And this is what I love about the foam tape, is that I can just lay it down and cut it to the size that I want. And it's still only 2 things to peel off, you know? That's why it's my preferred dimensional. And this one. Okay, and then we have this ticket. We'll get that one tucked down. So we're at about half an hour and we're almost finished this layout. That's pretty speedy if I do say so myself. Because we started at 6:10, I believe we said. After I talked about all the exciting things happening at the store. If you want to come and join us for a crop in August, please let me know and we'll get you signed up. It's going to be fun. It's always a good time hanging out with people who like to scrapbook and talking about paper things and photos and families and trips and things that we do. Right, so there we have our third ship. We got our 3 embellishment spots. And the only thing that I really want to do now is I'm thinking, because I have a 10 here, I think I want a 10 here and here. So I'm thinking I could use these little bits. And then I don't know what I'm going to use for the other one. But put it right on there. 10, 10, 10. Where else can I get a 10 from? These. I have these little guys too. Do I have a one on here? I do not. Well, that's not helpful. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that one. But I think I can probably find something else that has a 10 on it. And I'm going to pop it in there. Okay. So we have our our date. So I preset my date stamp. That was August 2022. Yep. Make sure I have the right stamp. I've done that before where I stamp it and then later I realize that was not the right date stamp. Okay, I'm just going to put this one right under this photo. There we go. Lots of date stamps offered in the shop. I'm using this one today, but only because this is still a juicy ink pad, so I'm going to keep using it until it dries up. But I do have my preferred ink pad from the shop is called VersaFine. That's what it's called. VersaFine. And you can also get I think I have the re-inker in front of me, but the ink pad I think is still packed. So VersaFine, re-inker, Onyx Black. That's the one that I like for stamping. Okay, and then I'm just going to throw some enamel dots on here. Let's see what I got. So I have white. I don't want to use white. Green. I think I want gold. I had some gold pulled out. Where did I put them? Oh, there. Gold. There we go. You have no date stamps at the moment? Oh, no. Okay. Joe's going to order more date stamps. If you want a specific one, make sure to let her know because it might not necessarily be the one that's ordered. So if there's one specific that you are looking for, let her know and she'll see if she can find it. Because there are a bunch of different varieties out there for sure. So I'm just putting one enamel dot of each size in the 3 clusters. And one up here. There we go. Look at me using the things. Okay. So like I said, the 2 things that I might change, so you can look for them in my final photo, is I might trace this out in white ink if after I take my photo I feel like I still can't see my title. The other thing is I'm going to find a number 10 that's going to fit into this cluster here. Okay. Other than that, I think everything is finished. So how's that for speedy layout? And this is the sketch I used, so those are the 2 together. I will post both the layout and the sketch that I used in our Create Crew Facebook group, as well as on my Facebook page at Paper Route Scrapbooking, and on my Instagram. That's where else I'll put it. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.